I would say he's not a role model. A role model is someone whom you would like other African-American boys to aspire to be. When you look at President Barack Obama's political behavior in the White House towards African-Americans, I cannot in good conscience want any African-American boy to emulate the neglect that their president has shown for African-Americans. In fact, when you look at the black reality, each index of black progress has actually regressed since Obama has been in the White House. So Obama took care of the homosexual minority subgroup, but Obama gave homosexuals 3 laws, a Supreme Court justice, more than 250 federally appointed jobs. He gave the Latinos a Supreme Court justice, unprecedented laws, white women, the Equal Pay Act. He put another female in the Supreme Court. So he's done things for female minorities, gay minorities, Latino minorities. He's done nothing for African Americans. Before Obama got elected, I'm the only black scholar I know of prominence, who actually said this was not going to be a good thing for black folks.
That boy is good.
This video is only being used for educational purposes solely. GATV family, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Gravitating Away. I'm back at it again. Now I got a great one yet again. This one is Dr. Umar Johnson, you know, during an interview with a radio host. It's actually 2 brothers at that radio platform, but it's really specifically one brother doing the back and forth with him. And I thought it was a great one, you know. It was some minor issues here and there, but nonetheless, the brothers spoke well, allowed each other to get their thoughts across. And I just thought, you know, family, I want y'all to check this out. It touches a lot of issues with what's going on with this FBA versus, you know, black immigrant thing. And it touches things in general for us as black people in the United States of America. So, you know, if you do have the capacity to listen and the humbleness for discipline, let's check this out. And as we go along, I'll fill in with my commentary. I appreciate y'all.
Was that he kept us distracted so long through Al Sharpton and others, telling us we got to defend the black president. We got to defend the black president. White folks is attacking the black. We got to defend the black president. And while we're so hypnotized by defending the black president, Obama allowed to take all the civil rights that our ancestors fought for the last 100 years and give them to women and illegal immigrants. So by the time Obama leaves office, black people are set back to the 1960s. When Obama became president, we were the priority minority. We were the priority minority for 44 consecutive presidents. Guess what? Under President George W. Bush, 45, this is the first time in American history, the first time that black people are no longer the priority minority. Homosexuals are more important than you. Immigrants are more important than you. Mexicans are more important than you. Gays are more important than you. And it's all your fault because you let a Negro brainwash you into accepting second place citizenship amongst the second place minority movement.
How is it President Obama's fault, though, that America has lost their morals, period? America don't have morals. So how is it President
America
Obama
never had morals?
It never had morals. Okay, let's talk about that. America never had morals. So if America never had morals, how is it some planet conspiracy that President Obama was placed into office to be able to guide the black people toward morals? No morals in a country is just no morals in a country. That means we become victims of our own liberation. That means that if you feel like you got the right to think whatever you want to think, you become victims of liberation when there's no morals to police you. That's what we're becoming victims of, our own liberation. It don't have anything to do with President Obama.
Oh yes, it does, my brother. Every president has a domestic agenda. Every president has a domestic agenda. Every president has a domestic agenda.
I'm just saying that
agenda was the 1994 crime bill. Every president has a domestic agenda. Every president. It's not about individual decisions. You got to get out of the individual decision. It's about systematic agenda. Systematic agenda. Abortion is killing more black children than black on black crime. Homosexuality helps to speed that up. There's a document that you need to read. There's a document that you need to read if you doubt that this was organized by the government. In 1974, please read this, and you can download it offline. 1974, Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, his National Security Memorandum 200. Please read it. The whole memorandum was about what, gentlemen? Population control. Read the document. It's over 300 pages. He talked about introducing sexual education in the schools as a means to reducing the black population rate. This is by design.
But it don't work if you don't have sex. It don't work. The whole design don't work if you don't engage in premarital sex. Having a conspiracy theory about killing people.
There's no conspiracy theory.
No, I'm saying it don't work.
All mine is documented. I'm giving you the document right now. There's no conspiracy.
I got you.
We have to stop calling stuff conspiracy theories just because white folks don't approve of it.
Okay, well, let's change this way.
Do we call CNN conspiracy theory? They lie every day. Do we call headline news conspiracy theory? They lie every day.
Okay.
Do we call USA Today conspiracy theory? That's the conspiracy theory. This is truth. When it comes out of the mouth of white folks, it's true. When it comes from black folks, conspiracy theory.
Okay. I apologize about that. Let's back that up. I apologize. I don't want to call it conspiracy theory. Let's back that up. Let's say we are speaking in a way that we are blind sheep. Like anything that is coming up, it's not illegal. If I don't do anything illegal, I can't go to jail for not doing anything illegal if I don't do nothing illegal. Now,
You're not dealing with systematic. Let's take that. Let's see. You're dealing with it from the individual, not the systematic. Policy is not set for individuals. Policy is set for groups. Let me give an example.
Okay.
Up until 1940, Irish, Italians, and Jews, right here in Chicago, and all across America, but especially here, they were not considered white folks because they were mixed with black DNA. Southern Europeans were not considered white folks. Mm-hmm. In 1940, the United States government made them white. Until 1940, what were they doing? They were breaking the law, stealing, killing, gangbanging, guns, drug running, booze, alcohol, everything under the sun, they engaged in it. Rackets, etc. They was in the streets getting drunk. They was killing each other. They was doing exactly the same thing we do. You know why? Because they were cut out of the American apple pie. They were not allowed to realize this slice of the American dream. In the 1940s, America decided to upgrade them to being white. That's what they did. They gave the Irish the inner city police department to the black community. They gave the Italians the inner city fire department to the black community. And they gave the European Jews the downtown municipal government civil service jobs that they still dominate in 85% of black community governments today. So all we did was go into the criminal enterprise that white folks formerly operated. You were never given the opportunities that they were given. This is systemic. You lock a black man up, you give him a felony, he gets out of jail. He has an 85% chance of going back to jail within a year. Does he want to go back to jail? I was on the phone yesterday, my brother, driving from my home to the Philadelphia airport. I picked up the phone. I was talking to a brother. He cried on the phone yesterday, y'all. He cried because he said, Doc, I don't want to go back to jail. I done filled out 50 applications. Nobody will hire me. I don't want to break the law. I'm not going to break the law. I need to meet with you just so you can keep my spirit strong. I watch your videos just to stay positive. He cried, y'all, because he wants a chance and America won't give him one. This ain't about no morals. This ain't about no bad decisions. This is about a policy that takes groups and systematically, politically, and economically disenfranchises them. You cannot help us if you try to trace all the problems in the black community to a moral issue. This is about political, economic power. Put the morals to the side.
So we trying to make it sound like we have no individual control over our behavior.
You have because of the system. On the individual level, my brother.
Okay. Let's go here.
European Jews ain't doing individualism. They doing group. Here's the question. See, here's the thing. We'll talk about individual responsibility, but we don't say nothing about the black politician. We don't say nothing about the black church that take millions of dollars every year. Why ain't the black church making jobs for black men so they have to go back to jail? Take me, for example. I've never been to jail. I have 6 degrees. I've never been to jail. I'm a doctor of clinical psychology. I graduated from a very prestigious school.
Okay.
But guess what? Let me go out here today. A white man tries to hurt me. I take self-defense. Because he was white and he benefits from white privilege, he could have been a dead broke poor white man. But he's going to benefit from white privilege because he's white. I got 6 degrees, and guess what? I'm going to suffer from racism because I'm black. I'm going to be put in jail 20 plus years. When I come out, I'll never be allowed to be an educator, a principal, a psychologist ever again. And guess what I would have to do? Something I never even thought of doing. I would have to contemplate breaking the law because I got two daughters who got to eat. This ain't about no damn morals. It's about giving certain people opportunity and systematically denying that same opportunity in others. The greatest trick racism ever pulled was convince black people that it don't exist.
Okay, what's your take on Trump and his inauguration? His take on immigration plan.
First of all, that immigrant argument,
yeah,
a black person is a damn fool if they running out there supporting those immigrants. Do you realize immigrants have never been your friend? They've never been your friend. When slavery ended, America imported 2 million Irish East Indians to America to work on the railroads. Why are you bringing in Irish and East Indians to work on American railroads and Chinese where you got 2 million ex-slaves who can't find work? You know why they did it? Because they decided that the only way to get rid of black folks is to make sure we keep them unemployed. We can't empower and exterminate at the same time. They brought people in and gave them jobs to prevent you from getting a job. Immigrants don't come to America to help blacks or work with blacks. They come here to help further disenfranchise you and take your place. The Mexicans are your replacement groups. The Mexicans are your replacement groups. That's why they build in prisons, because they can give all the low-paying jobs to the Mexicans. And you got black folks out here talking about, we got to stand with the immigrants. Them Arabs ain't coming here to help you. They up in Michigan now, Detroit now, exploiting black folks, shooting black folks, selling the dope and the guns all throughout the state of Michigan. Ain't no Latinos here for you. Ain't no East Indians here for you. They racist. I just had to report an East Indian to a hotel chain in Richmond last week because I called the hotel. I spoke in Richmond last week, and I called and I said, do you have any hotel rooms? And they said, yes, we got a couple, $139 a night. No problem. I get to the hotel. The East Indian sees me. Guess what he says? We sold out. I said, I just spoke to your receptionist who's standing right there 2 minutes ago. She said y'all had several rooms. How y'all sold out? That damn racist East Indian didn't want me in his hotel, so I reported his ass. Make sure we report those incidents of racism. And I told the hotel chain, if that shit ever happen again, you better know who you talking to. Look my name up. I promise you, you won't get another black dollar. Jumped on their asses and said, I better never do that again. They don't like us. So why are we fighting for immigrants who don't fight for black folks? Do you realize that most Africans in Africa will never get a chance to visit America? I got friends in Africa who were trying to get a visa to come see me for a couple of days and won't even get it because America has a 0% policy on let black folks come to America.
I like how Dr. Umar touched on this issue. So while you have black folks running around here focused on black immigrants, never mentioning the other immigrants, I know you don't know anything about histories, particularly history in America that you claim to be foundational in. Understand this and understand this clear. While there were prejudices going on against darker skins, folks, i.e. black people, I really wish you understood there was a clear divide. Not only with blacks, but see, here's the thing. Let's just get straight to the point. Black people were kidnapped and brought to the Americas as slaves. Whether you want to preach about the small so-called percentages of indigenous black folks, be my guest, because a lot of you are plebiscites. You know, you'll be anything. You'll be a buffalo, you'll be a pig, a cow before you be black, but that's fine. But here's the key. Anglo-Saxons also openly declared that people who did not look, speak, or practice religion like them were inferior in other ways. What do you mean gravitating away? I mean like the Italians that were coming here, the Irish, the Eastern Europeans, the Jews. They weren't considered white up until the 1940s, and it is important to understand why. When you go back and understand the rise of the slave population, how we procreated, they were outnumbered, folks. I know it's hard for some of you guys to understand census and believe in it, but they were outnumbered. So they needed to classify those groups that were coming in from Europe as white. It's a numbers game. So while you're so worried about black immigrants coming in here, you don't even realize there's barely 3 million black immigrants that has come from around the world, whether that be the Caribbean, from the UK, from Africa. There are barely truly any black immigrants that comes in here. I mean, I've been preaching about this for the longest, guys. Do you really understand what it takes for a black immigrant to come here? minus the house Negro immigrants that do come in here. I hate those types myself, who would like nothing to do from where they came from and only look ahead. Fine, that's your prerogative. But I'm speaking for the most part, the immigrants who have been entered here through family sacrifice, meaning we're all bundled up in one home to bring everybody here. Those are some of the most humblest people you will meet. But you weren't about them. You're not thinking about the boatload of Mexicans coming in here. And my Mexican brothers and sisters, I got no qualms with you, but I gotta set the record straight. In the house of blackness, my people, I have to set it straight. They're not worried about you Mexicans coming here by the boatloads. They're not worried about the Asians coming in here by the boatloads. Not only are the Asians coming in here, they're setting up shop. You can find a Asian community, particularly Chinatown, in every section of every state in this country. The Italians, same as them. Germans, Nordic people, or rather Nordic descendants coming in here. But this FBA movement is so worried about black immigrants. It's like you don't even know how to hate correctly. So I just thought I'd chime in and let you understand how pivotal it was for Dr. Umar to mention that. Your biggest problem is not the black faces that you see here who are from other countries. I can promise you that. Only if you knew what it takes for them to come here, you wouldn't make your focus about they're getting this and that from us. Do you know, folks, since you say they get tangibles when they come here, understand, if not for all immigrants, definitely black immigrants, it takes 5 years before you can even get any social services. It takes 5 years before you can touch any social services. Yet them Ukrainian refugees that came in here, ain't no waiting list for that. Not only are they touching social services, they're getting housing benefits, they're getting a stipend every month. But yeah, it's the black Africans, it's the black Caribbeans that are your issue. Man, some of you guys are a joke. I mean, I implore you folks to read. Go learn something. Stop watching Tariq and waiting for your next talking point. It's nauseating, yo.
All right. Like I said, this was a really good one. I love how the brothers conducted themselves. We need more of that. Shout out to the radio host. He didn't deflect like a lot of, people you guys deem them as your leaders. You follow them. This was an amazing back and forth. I loved it. I even love that the host allowed Umar to get his points across, because if you know Dr. Umar Johnson, he'll keep going on and on, regardless. So the brothers allowed him to have that room to breathe across the tracks, if I dare say. So, this was an interesting one, man. I hope you guys gained something from it. I shared my opinions, but, all in all, the brothers spoke very well. I just only would like to conclude with this. If you understood what Dr. Umar Johnson was saying when he said about the immigrants, because I know how a lot of these FBA guys are. They'll try to twist and turn and spin narratives so it can fit into their xenophobic hate. Dr. Umar didn't just plaster black immigrants as the people taking quote-unquote Tariq's words, tangibles away from y'all. He specifically mentioned the non-black immigrants. The group that this FBA group is scared to speak on. This FBA group hides away from. Whatever it is, they make it about black immigrants. Again, never can tell you what tangibles black immigrants get, but Dr. Umar beautifully distinguished the two groups. He lets you know how hard it is for black immigrants to come in this country. As I've been telling you guys, it's very difficult. It's damn near like a lottery system in some of these nations, versus these other non-black immigrants who can come here, bring grandma, grandpa, everybody here. I mean, it's ridiculous, the narrative that I see in the social media space. And a lot of you won't come across in the streets and talk crazy like that, real greasy like that. You won't talk like that in your office spaces. You won't talk like that with the so-called black immigrants that you swear across down the street over here that you getting, discriminated against. All cap. It just fits into that pom-pom cheerleading team narrative that you want to, get off your chest, your bitterness, your failed projections. You need to look for the easiest target. I'm going to keep repeating these things. I want it to bother you and you realize how much of a coon you really are. Imagine a coon calling someone else a coon. If you got that hate for people that look like you worse than a coon. You the best slave ever made. And a lot of you guys are the best slaves ever made. Willie Lynch is smiling, understanding his 500-year rule is still going on. Of how divided we are with so many little differences here that is projected as this big gap that's not really there, man. If you guys really understood what rhetoric is and how divisive it can be used, you'll stay away from these groups, man. But that's all I wanted to chime in on, man. It's gravitating away. I'm just trying to drop these bombs with y'all, man. I'm never gonna really ask for money. I don't even do lives right now, which I am working on very soon. But I would like it if y'all were to like, comment, share, subscribe. But most importantly, keep coming back, Rock with your boy, man. I'm out.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the Renault Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.